SNL about Dogecoin.
What happened with SNL?
He pretty much said, like, I mean, there's jokes. Everything on SNL is a joke. You know, that's just what it is. But
Yeah.
they're making jokes about SNL and on SNL, and they kept asking him to explain Dogecoin, and that was the bit. It's like, so explain Dogecoin. They kept saying it over and over and over.
Yeah.
And then after like 4 or 5 times, they go, so it's a hustle. And he goes, yeah, it's a hustle. And then Dogecoin tanks.
He said it's a hustle.
Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah, I mean,
Oh my God.
but like, ooh,
That's
look at that spike.
That's a terrible. I was even looking at it now. I should have just bought the dip. Fuck.
Right? But like, I don't understand. Like, there's billions on the line, and you're gonna crack a joke that you know is gonna cause this. That's an
Yeah,
interesting
right.
strategy, boys. Cause the news.
I think it's all. He probably just bought the dip.
He might have sold right before he went on SNL, bro.
Man,
I can't even use video right now.
Yeah,
It's not letting me. It won't let me.
Oh yeah. Here you go. Now you're in.
There we go.
You're locked in.
That bull, get the bigger bull.
Dude, that time lapse was pretty sick, right?
Yeah, that one came out amazing. There was like enough clouds. It looked cool. Good contrast.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot one from what time is it right now? It's 8. I'm gonna shoot one from like 6 to 8 because it'll get the sunset.
Yeah. And then you'll probably see the lights start to turn on and everything will be like kind of illuminated in that channel.
Yeah, it's
gonna look cool.
It's gonna look sweet.
Yeah, those time lapses are key. The stories have been good, man. They're all looking really good lately. Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're crushing it. All right, guys. So, what do you all want to see? Me and Nick are going to go through all the analysis that we normally do. But if you guys have questions or something in particular you want to cover, just go ahead and post it up in the chat. Dude, Syscoin, man, the nastiest.
I know.
Dude. Oof. That shit's terrible.
That hurts.
Dude, it hurts so much. Like,
oh God, it half its value on that wick. That's absurd.
Who would have thought that would have fucking happened?
I mean, hopefully the volume comes, stays with it. We'll see. I mean, oh, hit the same area, almost exactly.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even look at this today.
This.
Yeah, right in there.
It's fucking. I don't know what to think, dude. Ethereum is just pumping.
Yeah, Ethereum's got promise, man. 4K Ethereum, my God. A lot of people have been saying 10K, calling targets now.
10K would be.
I don't know about that, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, look at the volume though. Like, look at just price action analysis here. Look at the increased volume in these candles. Jesus.
Yeah, this is insane.
That's big.
Look at the low volume for so long.
I know. It came back. I mean, this was, what is this, 2017 to, this was after the first pump. And now these candles look small in comparison to these guys. This is really gonna, this is looking serious.
Yeah.
We all knew Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum's number 2, the second popular crypto. It has a lot more usage. It's definitely superior to Bitcoin in that way. And we can see that there's a ton of adoption happening, right? So this makes sense.
Dude, how did it get this low? It went all the way to $90. I forgot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then Litecoin did the same thing.
How
it went into
not buy this.
Litecoin went to double digits, bro, and then pushed up. Same thing. We saw that with the big 3, guys. We saw that with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, and then Litecoin. Yeah, they had these huge pumps, huge pullbacks, and now crazy volume again. But that's kind of natural in an emerging market. You're going to have these waves before the market cap, becomes significantly larger. This is what you're going to see as we approach that point. It's an emerging market, new market, guys. This is the opportunity here. I mean, this stuff is insane.
All right, guys. We got some people in the chat. They want to see GJ, want to see some pairs here. So I got the recording going. As always, guys, every week, me and Nick hop on. We do what's called the Sunday Market Blitz. So it's just us covering all the major pairs, some minor pairs, gold, dollar index, looking at all the pairs for the week ahead. We just look at the higher time frame. We just look at the daily the 4-hour, mainly because we're just looking at the overall trend. That way you guys can utilize the analysis potentially for the week that's coming up. Dude, your analysis, again, last week was ridiculous. Like, it's insane. Like,
It
if someone
follows
just
it.
closes their eyes and takes trades based on the zones, they do well. Like, no
Yeah,
joke.
yeah, you'll do well, exactly. I mean, that's the whole point of these guys, right? We do it for the, we call it like kind of intra week, right? That's why we do it every Sunday, because it's for the week ahead, and it's based on the 4-hour trend, which is very, very relevant for the coming week, right? So that's where we're looking for these trends, for these potential moves, and yeah, I mean, they're pretty accurate on a week-to-week basis. You know,
Yeah.
I would say probably like 70% at least.
Yeah.
Play out pretty damn close.
Yeah, like I would say I put out 5 pairs last week, and like 3 out of 5 were solid ideas just for the week. If you
Yeah,
followed just the trend for the week, you would have made some money.
yeah,
So
exactly.
if you guys want to follow these trades, follow the analysis and use it for the week, what I would do is just try to remove emotion as much as possible and create some sort of entry rules. Whether you literally don't even go down to the lower time frame and you just execute on the 4-hour, which I know people that do, or you do go down to the 30-minute and you try to get in on better entries down there. Look at the analysis. You guys, for the most part, learning from our community, from YouTube, from wherever for free, should be able to be at the point where you can, do that, where you can create that simple rule and follow the analysis and execute based on that rule. So yeah, no, definitely try to make that happen for this
Absolutely.
weekend and see how it goes. Cause it's back to back to back to back to back weeks, just looking at the analysis, and it's fucking on point. It's definitely on point.
And that doesn't necessarily mean you know, take these trades or set these entry rules on live accounts. If you guys are new, do it on a demo. It definitely applies. It's still a live market. It's still pretty much simulated, so you can practice that way as well. Just get comfortable with some sort of plan and rule set, as Angelo said. But with that, let's jump into it. Let's start looking at some pairs. We'll start tearing this up and see what
You want to go for it?
yeah, let's go for it.
All right, here.
See what we could
I'll give you
spot
the
this week.
almighty sharing power.
Oh yeah, let's go. All right. All right, guys. So for those of you that have been here, the veterans, if you will, you guys know we start off on DXY, which is just the US dollar index. Now we don't trade this. We more so use this as an indicator, a gauge for the week ahead, right? So this is, again, the US dollar. All that this chart shows is the strength of the dollar. And we want to know that because it makes up for 80% of the market. It's considered the reserve currency. So wherever this goes or as this moves, you're going to see a lot of the market fluctuate based on that. So it's a good idea to kind of understand the trend of what's moving most of the market, right? It just makes sense. So here we are on DXY. The process I'm going to take you guys through on each pair that I'm about to cover is I'm going to start on the daily, just assess the trend, literally just bullish or bearish, and then we're going to drop to the 4-hour and cover both scenarios, a bullish scenario or a bearish scenario. Okay? Keep it real simple. So overall, DXY has been bearish for a while, right? Pretty much a falling trend, lower lows, lower highs, breaking through support, testing as resistance, right? So definitely bearish. We did see a pullback here. So this was what looked like an attempted, break higher. So this was going to look like a change of trend. We saw a higher low here, push higher. We did find resistance at this trend line in this area here of confluence. Price action came falling back dramatically. So this was just merely a deeper pullback in an already bearish, overall bearish trend. So crash back down, assuming the daily trend again, we're back below the monthly at 91.5. And now we can spot there's some sort of pattern forming in here, right? So we know we're bearish. As long as we're below this monthly, we're going to keep that trend. Okay, as long as we keep seeing those lower highs as well. So now let's go down to the 4-hour and take a look at these two scenarios. Okay, so here is that significant zone, this monthly right here. Okay, we broke below. We're seeing retest, so it's holding at this level, which is good. It shows that this is going to continue bearish, right? But there's something interesting here. This is what's called an expanding pattern. So the volume is increasing as this is developing, right? So there's really two ways this could go. It's going to continue with this pattern, or it's just going to fall out here. So that's this orange path, right? This is what I don't think is going to happen first. This is a less likely option, in my opinion. It's just going to creep down to 90, and then, either bounce or break through it. Personally, I think it's going to stall right here a little bit, pull back, look for a lower high off this resistance level at 90.75. And then once we see this lower high confirmed, we can confidently say that this is going to continue with the bearish trend, and we're going to look to target lower down towards 90 flat. Okay, and then once we get here, it's also the negative 27 fib level. But once we get to this level, we'll reanalyze and consider new scenarios, both bullish and bearish. Okay, so this is the outlook for DXY this week. It is super, super bearish, so it's either going to continue to drop or we're going to see a pullback to form some sort of structure and confirm this push. All right, that's DXY. Let's move on to AU. Okay, looking super bullish. Let's go to the daily real quick. See what the overall trend is. Again, very bullish, right? Super, super strong trend. We broke the resistance here, gave us a higher low in the form of a double bottom. Huge continuation of the trend, pushing to a new high and through our weekly at 0.76, where we've been finding significant support and a good amount of rejection. There's a lot of bullish moves coming off this level. So it's very, very significant. This is pretty much the level that decides this trend on this daily time frame, right? As long as price action is above it, we're bullish. If price action moves below it and we see some lower highs, then we're bearish, right? So clearly, very, very bullish. It's an uptrend. With that in mind, let's drop to the 4-hour, get a closer look, and see which trade scenarios we could spot, right? Okay, so we're breaking to the upside here. We were in a range for a little while, pretty much with resistance at 0.78, support 0.7715. And we were anticipating this last week, right? It was either going to reverse its support, continue to play the range, or it was going to break lower. Clearly, it pushed higher and actually out of the range through resistance. So now this gives us an opportunity to potentially catch a pullback to confirm as support, looking for a higher low. Pretty much this trade path exactly, right? So we want to see some resistance here. This is definitely a higher high. It's broken significantly above resistance. So now we just want to see it pull back, form structure, ideally at a key fib level and support. So good confluence there. Should make a lot of sense to take a long entry after we start seeing some bullish setups coming off this level, right? And then we would take that entry, target higher towards the negative fib levels, and reanalyze once we get to that point. So this is very likely looking super clean for this week. A nice pullback would definitely be ideal. But what needs to happen for us to look at this and say AU is bearish, right? We need to see price action first, break back below 0.78, ideally get a lower high, and then you could play the range, right? That's clearly our target down here at 0.7715, literally just playing the range. So if we see it break back, retest, enter on some bearish setups, and then target lower. All right, so that's AU, pretty straightforward. Just nice to see this ranging kind of stop, right? We're actually seeing a direction, price action's resuming its trend. So this is good. This is definitely good. All right, next is AJ, daily time frame to start. So much like AU, I mean, you'll notice a lot of similarities in these two pairs. They're definitely correlated. AJ, however, has a lot more volatility. It likes to move a little bit more, covers more pips. So yeah, very similar. Overall bullish here on the daily, as you can see. Recently broke through a key weekly level at 83.3, and then we've been testing that support since. So very, very bullish. Higher highs, higher lows, definitely strong characteristics here. So let's drop to the 4-hour with that trend in mind. Okay, so just like we saw in AU, we saw a bit of ranging, right? 84.4 as resistance, 83.3 as support, which is our weekly, and then we broke higher, which was very, very clean here. There is a bit of a flag pattern. It broke significantly higher through resistance, came back down, tested this level, held, and then gave us a nice transition here that you could have entered on. So this played out well. Now we're a bit overextended. It actually pushed up since I did the analysis. So this is the new level. You can't really buy this now, right? It's already broken out. It's already making its push up. We got to see where it finds resistance and then, wait for the pullback. So if you're in on this trade, great, keep managing it. If not, look for a pullback. We want to see a fib level hit. Ideally, support at 84.7, right? We can catch, if it pushes a little higher, you might line up with the 61.8, we'll see. But either way, you want to see structure form, high or low above this level, 84.7, and then, strong bullish setups that we can enter on. And then we'll target towards the negative 27 fib level as well. So good potential trade here. Classic break, retest, entry, and continuation. Just waiting for that to play out. But yeah, looking pretty good. Good volume here. So what needs to happen on this pair for us to change our bias and start looking at shorts? Honestly, if as long as price action is above 84.4, I'm generally going to be looking at this, in a bullish way. I'm looking for longs because it could even fall back to here, range for a little bit, and then pop up. So generally, as long as we're above 84.4, we're bullish. So if price action breaks through this, gives us a lower high, this is when I'll consider switching my position, start looking at shorts, and then we'll play the range back down towards our weekly at 83.3. So pretty straightforward, pretty clean structure here, easy to see. So this is looking good for the week ahead. All right, that's AJ. Let's move on to UJ. This one's interesting as well. A lot of volume coming out of this pair lately. Let's jump to the daily real quick, see where we're at. All right, so we were bearish for a little while, right? Actually, for a long time. Very, very bearish. We pushed down to our low at 102.5, came back up and crossed the 104.5 mark, which really changed the trend here, right? This was the level that broke and kind of sent this into a bullish trend. Clearly, the volume kicked in after that and pushed us into an upper zone closer to 11.5, right? So we got up to this level, price action pulled back. We're still overall bullish here, right? Look at the room this covered. This thing pushed so high, right? So generally, as long as we're above 107, we're pretty much bullish on the daily here. So just keep in mind, it's just very bullish daily trend. All right, so let's go to the 4-hour now and see. So yeah, again, this is very bullish above 107, so it could fall to that level, or we could find support here. Let's see what the 4-hour shows us here. Okay, so good amount of volume. Okay, we did see this is like a daily fib level here, this huge pullback. We hit this fib level and then pushed higher. So this looked like it was really going to continue here, especially once we crossed 109.2. We had a nice continuation pattern, nice little pennant. So we were waiting for the break. It didn't happen, and it actually pushed lower. Clear break and retest here. Push lower to 108.4. So we actually are in a range here as well. If you look left, you could see that this level acted as support, this level of as resistance for quite a while. So we are in a range, and we're going to play it as one. So either we're waiting for a push back up to 109.2, which we're seeing pretty much now. We'll see how this 200 EMA holds, but we're seeing a good amount of rejection. So it could just pop up to this level, and then we'll reanalyze at that point. Or it's going to continue with the bearish trend. So look for a break of 108.4, literally this blue trade path right here. Wait for a break lower, retest, confirm lower high, and then we can short this down to 107. So this is a pretty large jump here, 140 pips. Definitely a really, really good risk reward in there. So this is obviously the ideal setup. We want to see this bearish momentum continue. Want to see price action drop a little more according to the 4-hour trend. But we did cover the daily and how bullish it really is. So if the bulls do step in here, we could see this kind of surge through this level, in which case we'll be looking for higher lows, and then we'll look to continue with the overall bullish trend. But for now, this is the likely scenario. All right, it's EJ. Not as clear as some of the others, but this is how UJ has been moving lately. Pretty dramatic swings here. All right, let's move on to EJ. This one's a little more clear. Let's jump to the daily. Overall, very bullish, right? Very, very strong trend here. Higher highs, higher lows. Pretty much just chugging along here. And the most significant level that is near to current price action is 132.75, our weekly. So this is, where we're looking to target right now. This is where we're waiting for price action to reach before we can anticipate some sort of reaction, right? Either we're going to hit a lot of sellers in this level, we'll see price action start to drop, or we'll kind of blow through it. But on this time frame, we're very bullish. So let's go to the 4-hour, get a closer look at what price action is doing near this weekly. All right, so we did break a range here as well. Nice little push up here, so we fibbed that, right? This was conviction. We fibbed from the low to the high. Price action came back, gave us a little flag pattern, form structure 38.2, and then pushed higher. Gave us a nice little MA cross there as well, and a higher low. Great entry there. So this was actually part of last week's analysis. So this is an active trade. If you're in this, continue managing it. If not, this is where you're gonna look for your next entry, on a pullback. So The most significant level on this time frame, the 4-hour that we broke, was 131.4, right? So that's where we want to see a higher low. Wait for price action to pull back, give us a nice strong reversal, good bullish confirmations to enter on, and then we're going to target towards the weekly at 132.75, which is right near our negative 27 fib level. So really good confluence in this area. All right, but if this doesn't pull back, it just runs into this level. That was pretty on par with last week's analysis, and that's just how it plays out. So if it pulls back, there is a little long opportunity there. If not, we'll have to reanalyze once price action gets to that level. All right, so that's the bullish scenario. But what has to happen for us to start considering shorts? So on the 4-hour time frame, this is bullish as long as we're above 131.4. So you could look to enter short. This would be more of a quicker position. This would be a quicker position because you'd then be catching a trade right on the 4-hour transition. So that would be a lower high right here, target down towards 130.6. Okay, and this is the level that's going to determine the daily trend. So as long as price action is above this on the daily, it's generally bullish. If we see some breaks lower here, this could be a major transition. And essentially, we'd be looking for the same thing here, right? A break and retest. Just about like that. Okay, I'd have to draw these over, but you guys get it, right? Break below, same thing as here, right? So that could be a big opportunity, but we really don't have any bearish signs yet. So this is pretty unlikely as of right now. All right, so that's EJ. Thing is moving though. Thing could really go. Once EJ commits, man, this thing likes to run.
Yeah, that thing's chugging right now.
Right? It's just
Jesus.
moving. Good volume on it. So guys, the last pair I got for you is gold. Daily time frame to start. It has been very bearish for a while. And the level that was kind of holding this whole, bit of price action is 1800 here. So we saw a massive rejection here. And generally, as price action was above 1800, it's bullish on the daily trend. And, as we, move below it, we're basically bearish. So we did see a major transition here when we broke lower, retested, and then price action dropped all the way to our monthly at 1675. At that level, we got a double bottom, huge reversal, some higher lows, and then the thing just took off. And then it actually broke right through 1800 as well. Okay, so last week we saw a bit of consolidation here, some ranging, and then conviction kicked in and blew through 1800. So this is looking more bullish now on the daily, but it's yet to be confirmed because we don't have a higher low yet. So that's basically what we're looking for right now. So this push higher is definitely great, but now we need to see it confirm and then continue. And then that's how we can say we're very much bullish on the daily time frame again. All right, so let's now drop to the 4-hour. We can say this is bullish, right? And then let's drop to the 4-hour. And now we're going to wait for that confirmation. All right, so here we are creeping up on this trend. Very strong trend here, good volume. Here's that weekly that we hit, 0% drawn. So we're waiting now for a pullback. Want to see that higher low at 1800, which is also right in line with the 61.8 fib level. If we do see that pullback now, this would be definitely super ideal, the most ideal pretty much area right now. So wait for the pullback, wait for the higher low, look for the bullish confirmations, and then enter long. And then we're going to target back towards 1865 area, which is right near our negative 27 fib level as well. So this could be a massive trade, right? If this pulls back, gives us those confirmations, this could be absolutely giant, and could be a really nice trade for this week. All right, but we just got to wait for that to kind of play out because you're not going to buy it now, right? We're at a high. There's a resistance level here. There's a little bit of uncertainty at this level. And you can even see it in these, candles. The volume's kind of dropping off, and it was here as well, approaching this level. So just wait. That's a safer bet. Be conservative with this. You really want to catch it at a low point and then, maximize your profit through risk reward. So this could be absolutely insane. So just wait for that. But again, we consider both sides of the market. So what needs to happen for us to say, all right, gold, take this out here. This wasn't a real push. It's going back to, more of a bearish trend. So how do we get in on that? What do we need to see? So as we said, this 1800 level is really the pivot level for this trend, especially on the daily. So if we see a break below that and then a confirmed lower high, like literally this would be perfect. There's a little pocket of confluence here, resisting trend line, the 200 EMA would also be above price action. So that's huge. And then we would just wait for the right confirmations at this point, right? So bearish setups, bearish variations, enter on that, and then start targeting lower towards, major support levels. All right, but clearly it's bullish. We have a long way to go before we see a major transition. So this is the likely trade path. All right, and that's my last pair. So quick recap: covered DXY, covered AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. If you want to refer to this, I know we kind of cover these quick. Can probably be hard for some of you sometimes to keep up. So if you want access to these analyses, as Angelo said in the beginning, you can get them in Telegram. Post them every week, and also in Discord. Okay, and then we'll do a follow-up review at the end of each week and kind of see how they did. See how close or accurate our analysis was. All right, so that's all I got for you guys tonight. I'm gonna pass it off to Angelo. Let's see what you're looking at for the week, man.
Let's see what's going on. Yeah, so like Nick said, the analysis can be followed throughout the week in TradingView. We publish all the ideas, so you can go ahead and hit the play button and follow it along. And again, guys, we're trading the trends here. This analysis is meant for trend trading. We're only trying to enter on the higher lows, enter on the lower highs. So it's pretty straightforward here, trying to enter in the places that have the most value. So Nick went over a lot of good ideas for this week. And like I said in the beginning of the call, like I just look at his analysis at the end of each week, and it's really, the ideas are good ideas. They're good ideas. If you follow them, you'll be with the trend. And as they say, the trend is your friend out here. So I'm going to dive into some of the major pairs here. We're going to start, we'll look at DXY really quickly just to get an overall idea. And just looking at it on, what are we on the monthly right now, we can clearly see we broke this main resistance level, we retested it, successfully rejected it, and then we started to move lower last week because it's only May 9th, so relatively in the beginning of the month, moving towards the middle of the month here. Coming down to the weekly, look how last week formed, very bearish, clearly bearish engulfing candle. Doesn't mean we're going to shoot to the downside now. We could come up for the retest of this level right here, but to me, this certainly says that more sellers than buyers are in the market. So more than looking for buys, I'm looking for sells. I'm looking for rejection of this 91, near this 91 area, to continue to go lower. Do you guys enter immediately or on the retest? Always on the retest. Always enter on the retest. So let's hop in. With this in mind, anticipating that the dollar might shoot up, which could be 60 pips up and then shoot to the downside. Let's start to take a look at some of the major pairs here and see how they're looking. Monitor. Got some technical difficulties over here. The monitor's crapping out on me. You see my screen, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So we're going to start off with USDCHF. Weekly and monthly time frame, guys, is kind of just one look, looking at the overall direction of the market. Looking left, price broke support here, pushed down, broke support here, pushed down. And then we had this retest of the resistance, clearly rejected it, looking much like the dollar index. So now we're definitely anticipating some more downward movement. Coming down to the weekly time frame, we can really look at, I'm looking at two things on this time frame right now. One, all these candles are obviously very bearish, moving to the downside. Two, we're hitting this support level, now turned resistance level, now turned support right here. Last week's candle closed extremely bearish, but again, we're always looking for that retest. So last week, the idea was to do a swing trade right here. You can see the arrow that we had pointed, obviously ended up shorting to the downside, which played out well. So let's see what's in store for this week. We can clearly see the trend here, very bearish, breaking support, retesting as resistance, breaking support, retesting, breaking support, retesting, and now pushing to the downside. We're looking for price to come back up and to hit this area. Let's see. We're looking for a price to come back up, hit this area. If we short down here, we have all of this room for price to retrace to, and look at our risk reward if that was the case. If we're looking left, this is the next low point that this could potentially push down into. If we short all the way down here, we have like this. Our reward would be this low, and we have all of this room here where price could retrace to. All this room. Certainly we could have very tight stops, but again, the area with the most value is right here. If we put a trade in up here, our targets are down here, and then if we wanted to be conservative, stops all the way up there, which we wouldn't do. We would enter on some sort of rejection, most likely put stops above a resistance level right here. We will have a much greater risk reward than down here. There'll be 180 pips available for us to potentially get, as opposed to if we enter literally right now, you know, we're missing out on potentially 70 more pips as this thing does retrace. So the idea on this one, and coming down even to the 4 hour, it's just bearish on literally every single time frame. Bearish on every single time frame. If we were to map out the trends on here, we can clearly see these pullbacks right here. Got a little sloppy there. So I'm not trying to be too OCD about this. Like, these are the lows, these are the highs right here that we're looking at. So what do we need to see next? We need to see price come back to another lower high. I'm looking at this area because look previously how price loves to retest the support. Break of support, retest, break of support, retest right here, break, retest, even this, break, retest this, break, retest this. So I'm looking for price at a minimum to come up here. That's will be my first zone to start to sell in. If you guys want to be animals and start to buy into that support level, I would have to see something a little bit more convincing than we're seeing right now. We're having a little minor break of resistance right there. There's not much down here to help us out if we want a long. So we would need to see a lot more develop on this 30-minute time frame at the minimum for it to start to actually take longs. If it starts to trend on this time frame, start to present us with these higher highs right here and these higher lows, then we could potentially look to get in on one of these higher lows and head to the upside. But the overall idea on this one is just 4 hour time frame, wait for the pullback. So that's Usdchf. Let's go to GBP USD next. We'll start up on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, as you guys can see, price has been extremely bullish, pushing to the upside, breaking the resistance, retesting it, breaking the resistance, retesting it, and flying again. But where are we at right now? We're currently testing this 1.42 level, which previously was respected really well, had this double top all the way back in April of 2018. So I am using this as confirmation here. As you can see, we've already wicked it once. So it's looking as though we're going to surge to the upside right now, but this certainly could just be some sort of like fake out, some sort of just push to grab liquidity late, and then this thing could tumble. This thing could then tumble, you know, down back into the zone. We've yet to really significantly retest this level, which obviously is very significant. We have 1, 2, 3 touches right here at the 133 level. So could potentially see a huge fall off on GU, but we've been waiting for this all the way since here, since freaking all the way back in December. We've been waiting for GU to fall back down to these lows. You know what I mean? So the market's bullish. We're gonna keep that in mind. Going down to the daily time frame right here, we had price. Let's see this. We had price making these lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, and we actually broke out of this, broke this trend line, pushed to the upside here. We had a retest and a double bottom, and now we just broke the resistance, and obviously we're very bullish. I said in the analysis that I posted on Telegram that I'm waiting to see how today's candle closes Sunday, see if this closes bullish. If it does, this would signify a definite break of this resistance level. So yeah, definitely a zone to watch right now. If we come down to the 4 hour, as well. You can clearly see that price broke this previous high point, and what we would have to see at a minimum is, let's bring this on. If we wanted to enter on a higher low, we'd want to see a retest of around this level, this 38.2. But I'm not even going to bring on the fib because we haven't even rejected anything yet. We're just pushing higher. We're just pushing higher. So there's nothing to do on this pair right now unless you literally wanted to go down to the 15-minute and start to just aggressively enter longs on every retest. But we're not in the business of doing that right now. So we're going to leave that one. That's GU. Let's go to USD Cad next. Let's bump up all the way up to the weekly time frame right here. So as you can see, price has been extremely bearish, breaking support, retesting as resistance, breaking support, retest as resistance, breaking support, retesting, and then now we're all the way at this bottom. Price has really flown to the downside. Yeah, gonna be a small retracement on the H1 for GU. But this one, again, last week we had a really good idea on this one. We were shorting from this area, played out really well. Now we're looking for a similar idea. We need to wait for a pullback. This market is extremely overextended, so I'm not going to short it where it is exactly right now. We're going to wait for some sort of pullback, and these are the two areas that I'm looking at right now. Last week, this was the idea. We had this as a level that we were looking for shorts from. So during the week, if you literally just hit the sell button at this level 1 times and 2 times, you would have made money. So not to sound like scammy or anything, like this level was the level. This was the level with the most value. If we were going to short it, this is the area to short from. Obviously, based on how we actually trade, we look for a little bit more confirmation. I mean, we had this wick, this large wick right here, which was definitely telling that we rejected it and could have potentially reversed from that area. And by this wick, I mean this. My computer is freaking struggling right now. Let's see. Damn, we are in the struggle bus. Based on the fib, I'm still potentially looking for sells to the 618. So Taj, which pair are you referring to and which time frame? Because we can go over that. Let's take this off. Dude, this thing is really freaking struggling right now.
Yeah, it's taking a while. UCAD daily.
About to have to kill some of these programs.
YouTube's probably doing it.
Yeah, Google Chrome, dude. Google Chrome is churning right now.
You got like 15, 20 tabs.
Oh my god, dude, it's really struggling. Let's see
What year is that? What year is that, Mac?
This one is, honestly don't know. Let's take a look. This is a MacBook Pro too. I mean, I used the crap out of it.
Yeah.
This is a 2017.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
it's getting old.
Yeah. Might be time.
2.8 i7 though.
I mean, it's definitely powerful.
Yeah, I should probably just wipe it.
Damn, that thing is powerful.
Yeah, it's super powerful. I just leave it on. I'm gonna just donate.
Just donate. Maybe a giveaway. Angela's computer.
I'll give away my computer. You'd be finding some crazy shit on here. All right.
Gotta wipe it twice.
So UCAD based on the daily. Let's do a bump up. I got in a sell on the zone above, but I closed my sells early because market didn't reach that zone in a while. So on the daily time frame, you're saying if we were to fib from here to here, pretty much. I wouldn't even personally be fibbing this on the daily time frame yet because there's no support established. There's no bullish engulfing. There's no reversal. Like if we started to hike up, then we could throw on the fibs and then we're like, okay, 38.2, nice zone, nice area, some confirmation there to sell from. But as of this moment, there's no real reason to have the fib on because it just doesn't, literally just doesn't do anything for us right now. It doesn't do anything. So 4-hour time frame, again, just trying to maintain this trend. Obviously, very bearish. And as I work my way down, even to the 1 hour, this is clearly just a downtrend. And where am I trying to sell, guys? I'm either trying to sell at the retest of support and resistance or at another value area, which would be up here at the previous high. We would have a supply zone up here. And if we were to actually bring on the fibs on this time frame, we could see that this is also 38.2 right here. And this is the same as, Todd, not to confuse you, this is the same as the daily. The market has yet to even form a level of support right here. It has yet to form a level of support right here. So if anything, we're waiting for some sort of reversal, some sort of break of resistance before even throwing on the fib. So if we go all the way down to the 15-minute, this thing is still very bearish. This thing is bearish as fuck. Breaking support, retesting, breaking support, retesting. Now we just broke a more major level, retested it. Now we broke support again, and price is retesting this area. So we have to see how price reacts to the resistance right now. The best area to sell in, though, in my opinion, is up at this level. Either we want to enter here if we see some rejection, or enter here if we see some rejection. So I'll leave this on my chart. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out for the week. Pearl, if you have a buy zone on UCAD right now, maybe if you're down on like the 5-minute and you're seeing break of resistance, retest support, break of resistance, retest, I could potentially see that. Just personally for me, I would need to see something more significant start to flip, at the minimum, like a bullish engulfing. And then, we're looking for the retest anyway up here. So you could potentially buy up into that zone. So that's UCAD. Let's go over to NZD USD next. Let's bump up to Z weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, last week closed very bullish, pushed up. Didn't really expect this, to be honest. Didn't expect it to push up like this, but the following week rejecting. Look left, all of this resistance is up here. So regardless of what goes on, long term, I am looking for price to turn over and go to the downside. So let's take a deeper look, just go down time frames. Looking at this on the daily, guys, this thing was very bearish. This is going to be interesting because this thing turned bearish, broke support, retested it, turned down. Then we formed a little resistance level, broke it, came up, tested this level, respected it, and then we just popped back up. So this could certainly just close bearish now. This could just do one of these where it just forms like a very bearish candle to the downside. Let me see. Let me get this on here. Let me go back. So we could just see a nice little follow-up candle right here where it just closes very bearish, closes below this candle, like covers this candle. So just like this right here. If it does that, we'll start to try to short. If this thing holds above here, I'm just not too thrilled about taking buys right now. I'm not too thrilled about taking buys right now. I'm not too thrilled about anything with NZD USD. I don't have a great idea in mind. If you did want to get super aggressive, I would literally just start to sell off of the resistance up here. We're starting to wick it out too, and your target could be down here, and your stops could make it just like a 2-to-1. So this is just a very rough idea with literally only like one confirmation. So it's not the best. It's not the best probability idea in the world. So I'm staying away from NZD USD until I get a little bit more clarity on it this week. So let's go Euro USD next. Let's bump up to the weekly. And I'm just going to cover real quickly, guys. How do I get these monthly zones? I come on to the line chart and I'm looking for touches in the market. So an area where we find support, we find resistance. This is telling me that there's a lot of volume in this area. Look at this on June 1st, 2012, January 1st, 2018, 2 areas when price came here, rejected the shit out of it. We're coming up on that area again. We're coming up on the area again, which is going to be, for me, to mean a huge sell-off potentially. So that's how I marked down this upper zone. This bottom zone was based on support or resistance, support, resistance. If I bring on the candlesticks, we can clearly see how this whole area was maintained all throughout this entire point of time, this entire 5-year period. So coming down to the weekly, let's try to make sense. Yep, yeah, line chart makes it real clear. Let's try to make sense of all this, guys. Overall, weekly is bullish. We had this push to the upside, had a little bit of resistance here, pulled back, had support form, pushed to the upside, pulled back, found support on this deep retracement, and now we are just pushing to the upside. And the expectation now is just that we're going to get back into this 1, 2, 300, 1, 2, 3 area. That's really the expectation now. Coming down to the daily and down all the way to the 4-hour time frame, we can see things a little bit clearer on this one. This was a very clear trend. I'm going to bring on a little channel here. This was clearly trending to the upside this entire time. And I'm just putting this on to visualize it. Basically, we had these highs, these higher lows, these highs, these higher lows. If we just come on and use our path tool and map this out, I like to do this because for you guys that are confused about structure, don't know how to market, whatever, this is a good way, a good exercise to do for kind of not only beginners, just everyone in general that is struggling, like just to identify structure. We had this high, this higher low. Remember, we're always trying to buy here. This high, this higher low, retesting. This high, higher low, higher low, high. Then we broke. So this is a classic example of when price breaks an uptrend, and then we are looking for sells. So this would have been the first area to start to sell from, right here. This big old fucking sphere out here. This would have been the first area to sell from, right there, boom. And then price rejected it, pushed, and then we actually just had a break. We had a break back to the upside now. Boom, like this. So if we go on, bring the candlesticks back on, now you know exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking price just pushed to the upside. What do I need to see? Very simply, a retest. Either at a minimum, a retest in this area right here. So a retest right here, or ideally a retest all the way down here. So this is why we don't buy right now, guys. Price can, at the minimum, pull back to here, at the maximum, pull back all the way down there. So we're just waiting how the top reacts. If we get that bearish engulfing, then I will fib it and I'll look and see, okay, 61.8, perfect zone, perfect area to start to long from, have a long ways to go from there. So that's why EU is kind of down on the watch list for the week, this week. And then last but not least, I didn't do analysis on it in the Telegram, but I'm going to pull up GJ. For all the people that love looking at GJ, it is one of the pairs that I trade as well. Coming up to the weekly time frame, we can see we are between our monthly zones right here, and price has just been bullish as hell. Price has been bullish as hell. We did get some like consolidation last week, the last 2 weeks, down in this area. Price was fucking about for a long ass time, and then we finally started to trend again. So down on this 4-hour time frame, looking at this, not to be too confused, everything going on to the left, let's just kind of focus in on this current trends right here. Obviously, we had a minor resistance, form this new high, form this major high or low. Then we started to range in this area. So let's take this off. Let's just zone this out. Well, picking the wrong tool out here. So Let's just zone this out. We have this path, boom. And then what are we seeing right now? And this is also one of the patterns that you guys should all realistically know as well. We have this resistance, and then price was forming higher lows. So this is very clearly a ascending triangle. Now what we're looking for is we have the breakout, wait for the retest, and then get in on the entry. So this is probably going to be a nice trade for the week, guys. If this closes, which is closing in 5 minutes, this signifies a nice break of resistance. And then once we pull back, we'll look for support, and then we'll head to the upside. So that's all the analysis that I had for you guys for this week. Went over GJ, Usdchf, GU, UCAD, EU, and NZD, USD. Like Nick was saying, we've got all of this posted inside of the Discord chat. So all of our analysis is posted in here. There's text on it. And if you guys want to go through and read it again, we'll post this recording on YouTube. And I'm just going to go over to the people that have been asking about our services. I'm just going to pop on to the website really quickly, and we'll just take a look at the programs that we're currently offering right now. If you do want more information, you go ahead and watch this video. But things have been updated more recently. We have the Learn and Earn group now. So this is the Signal Room. So in here, what's going to be included is live sessions during the New York and London session, along with daily signals. So we posted swing trades, intraday trades, and the person that does the London for us, he's a scalper. This is obviously our full program. It's not currently on sale right now, but it does include lifetime access to the signals, along with our entire course, which all the information on that is inside of the Telegram. But it's a 5-week program where we're basically teaching you everything that Nick and myself go over on these free sessions. Everything from the basics to the more advanced topics like top-down analysis, actually creating your own strategy, back testing, everything that you guys see us do. And just to comment on that really quickly, like there's a lot of people on the internet right now almost being exposed a bit because, and this is what we've always talked about, is if you're on someone's Instagram or in their Telegram and all they post is their supercar or their like fucking lifestyle, and they don't literally do analysis. Like they don't do analysis, they don't trade. You know what I mean? Like
No value. They don't
no value at all. Like guys, they are not that they're a scammer. Like they're just marketing. Like they're probably not a good trader, probably decent trader, maybe not even a trader. And they're just selling something. They're trying to hit on an emotion and trigger something. And we're seeing a lot of that lately. And me and Nick are authentic. We show our results. We tell you the realities of trading. We tell you the goal is to make 1 to 10% a month, which for most of these other Forex mentor, we'll call them leaders instead of gurus. We'll call them leaders. They're all about the account flips, making enough money to pay your down payment on a Lambo and all this crazy shit. And it's just not real. It's just not real. It's not the reality. Like trading is one of the most difficult careers to maneuver within. If you obviously have all the right information and you work really hard, you'll be able to create a strategy that can be profitable for you. Not one strategy is going to fit all. You really just want to get all the tools and learn how you can test them so that you can create one that fits your day-to-day life, your personality, your emotions, everything like that, how you comprehend things. But yeah, we just keep it real. We're keeping it real with you guys. Like we're not promising crazy results. We're not promising anything like that. With all the funding opportunities that are available, there are certainly a great opportunities right now for all retail traders. Great opportunities with the funding available. The goal for anyone should be start with a small account and hit that 10% in a month. Hit that 10% in a month, 5% in a month, so that you can get funded, so you can get more money. Don't worry about account flips, any of that bullshit. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't amount to anything. You want to be 40 years old doing account flips, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, like you don't want to be you don't want to be doing that. You want to be you want to like at that point have such a good edge in the market that you're potentially have it automated or you're beyond the point of even trading. You know what I mean? So to get to that point, you got to be professional. You know, you got to do things the right way. You have to build a good foundation, and doing account flips, in my opinion, is not a foundation at all.
Not really, no.
No. So yeah, guys, these are our programs: the one-on-ones, the trade copier, the learn and earn, and the lifetime membership. Info on everything will be shared inside of the Telegram. No discounts on anything right now. We do run them from time to time, so look out for them. And as always, you know, appreciate all you guys staying on for this session, and hope you guys have a good week this week.
Yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you guys for some live sessions throughout the week. And yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll probably do a live session on Wednesday during the week. But yeah, we'll let you guys know. So peace out, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks, guys.